Hundreds from Chris Rogers and Malan threw a rather large spanner in the works as far as Warwickshire were concerned on the third day of their all-important LV County Championship match against Middlesex at Edgbaston. Warwickshire began the penultimate day on 293 for 8, which gave them a lead of just 6 runs. The message for Keith Barker and Chris Wright would have been to go and turn that into something which would put pressure on Middlesex when they batted a second time. They advanced the total along to 328 for a 41-run advantage. Barker had made 23 when he was brilliantly caught behind by Dexter Rossington, the kind of dismissal that will give the youngster a lot of confidence. Wright was then bowled in Tim Murtagh's next over to give Warwickshire a first innings total of 333 and a lead of 46. Those are the kind of leads which can put the jitters into the side batting third, and that looked to be the case here when Sam Robson edged right behind on 1. And Joe Denly was superbly held by Ricky Clark off a slash outside the off stump, a wicket which left Middlesex on 25 for 2. They still trailed by 21 runs when Rogers was joined by Malan, and there was a lot of work for them to do now. When sides are going well and everything is perfectly in place, this is the kind of position from where the bowling team can pounce. But as hard as they tried, the home attack couldn't find a way past these two left-handers, who were to go on and post the county's second-best partnership of the season. Both are, of course, high-quality players, Rogers with oodles of experience and runs behind him, while Malan is still trying to get to the levels he and many others around him know he is capable of. They were soon pushing their side into a healthy lead here. When Boyd Rankin dropped in short, Rogers uppercut him over the third-man boundary for a 6. Yet it was Malan who was first to his half-century, made from 75 balls, that being his 6th 4. On his day, and this was one of them, he really does look a class act. So too Rogers, who 2 overs later also went to his 50, the 139th time that he's got that far in his career. It was a slightly streakier way to get there, with the Australian 7th 4 to go with that 6. There was no part in the duo after that either. Both of these batsmen have shared in some pretty tidy partnerships for their county this season, but not together. Sides like Sussex and Nottinghamshire would have been cheering them on all the way too, as they started to bat their side into a position of strength. Not often in this excellent summer for the Bears have their esteemed attack been treated this way, but with the pitch remaining a good one to bat on, both Rogers and Malan were starting to make hay, batting through the middle session. With events unfolding as they were in Taunton, it could be that Sussex are the championship leaders for the first time this year, come the end of this week, unless Warwickshire can now turn this game around. Rogers is used to scoring hundreds, and this couple took him to 3 figures for the 55th time overall. You'd have thought that in all that time he may have got used to where we position our cameras. He'd reached his ton off 143 balls in 3¼ hours of quality batsmanship. Yet he fell soon afterwards, flashing an edge to Varun Chopra, who held on to remove Rogers for 109 and bring an end to a match-changing partnership of 203 for the 3rd wicket. Warwickshire then just threatened to get right back in this game. The first innings centurion Neil Dexter had made only 2 this time when he cut Boyd Rankin to Will Porterfield in the gully. Malan was still there though, and to his 158th delivery he reached his own 100, the 9th of his career and his 2nd of this summer. His had required 158 balls, 12 of which had brought him boundaries. It looked as if he might have to go it alone when Rossington became the 3rd man out in the space of 8 overs, as he pulled Rankin to Darren Maddy to go with a total on 252 for 5. With an hour and a half left in the day, now was the time for the championship leaders to show their strength by quickly ripping out the remainder of the Middlesex batsmen. As it was, they couldn't get another breakthrough at all, as Gareth Berg frustrated them in partnership with the magnificent Malan. Indeed, rather than losing wickets, the visitors actually increased their scoring rate in the last hour, with Berg being especially free with his scoring. The lead had stood at 206 when these two came together, but by the end of the day, which again was brought to a close slightly early because of the light, they'd posted another 99 runs. Berg made it to his own 50 just before the umpires dragged the players off. He'd needed only 62 balls to get there in an innings which may just have taken this contest away from Warwickshire. Middlesex go into the final day with a lead of 305 on 351 for 5, with Malan on 138, needing just another 6 runs to record the highest score of his career. A promising final day is possible as long as the forecast rains stay away.